In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 tone-on-tone color schemes that are beautiful for vintage cards. I'll be featuring the Luxe Damask BetterPress plate by Spellbinders. Hey guys, my name is Melanie and I cannot wait to craft with you today, so let's get started. Okay, so here is the Luxe Damask BetterPress plate. This is February 2025, and I just thought when I saw this that it is gorgeous. So I just wanted to play and play and play. Now I have not even BetterPressed it yet. I'm doing it with you. First time ever. And I just wanted to just envision this with you, that when I saw this, I saw total vintage love here. And so I thought I'd dig through my colors and I'd find some color schemes. Now this is a registration plate. So look at this bad boy. This is so pretty. So I have already attached the registration, as you can see here, I've taped it to the chase, and it has these registration marks on it. Now, it's made to line up, so here it would line up, here it would line up. See here on the bottom it lines up, and the top, that one. So that pink lines up like that, and then you move it up again, and you line up like that, and you're gonna get the whole entire panel. So I thought, since we're gonna stamp it 3 times, how about we try to stamp it with 3 colors of ink and see what we get. I have no idea what it's gonna look like, but I thought we would choose vintage colors, and I'm gonna show you 3 different color schemes that I came up with my ink. And we'll just give it a shot and see what happens. So the colors that I have chosen, I'm gonna go ahead and get this. This one here is the trickiest because you have the magnets right down here. So it wants to grab onto the magnets, but once you get it in place, you just want to line these colors up right here. Once you get it in place, then you're fine because this magnet is more powerful. So as you can see there, these magnets are going to try to grab this when you sit it down, but that's all right because this magnet here is so much more powerful. So that way the press plate doesn't move on you. You can move it all around, doesn't move. So we've got that already in place. Let me grab the platen, which is your clear top plate, and I'll hook a piece of paper to it, and then we will ink. And I'll show you those 3 different color schemes. So here is my platen. I'm going to turn that over so it reads BetterPress down here. And let me grab some paper. How about for this? We will go ahead, since these are vintage cards, and we will go ahead and use bisque. I don't use this as much as I use the porcelain, so I thought we would give it a shot. So I'm cutting a piece of paper down in half, and then cutting it in half again, and that gives you an A2 panel. So we will go ahead and put this on. Now this is a full sheet. So, put the other side. Okay. So I'm going to put my tape on the back. You just want this to be as flat back here as possible. That way it doesn't mess up your press. Now, if you are interested in the BetterPress, encourage you to join the BetterPress Babes Facebook group. My friend Justine Dvorak and I run that group together, and we were all things BetterPress. So I invite you over. I'll leave the link down below. So the colors that I have gotten today are these 3 families of colors. I've gotten this color collection here is Northern Shore by Altenew, Fresh Dye Inks. Northern Shore. I've got the Sugar Plum, and I've got the Frosted Foliage collections. These to me all scream vintage. So we're going to see how they look. I've not done this before. I mean, I've used the inks individually, but not kind of like this together. So we're going to just see how it looks. So I'm thinking we're going to use the light, the medium, or the lightest, the next one, not the darkest, in other words. That's what I'm thinking. So let's just see how this does. Now, this is a water-based ink, so you need to be careful and make sure you get your your plate really, really inky. Altenew's water base, I find, is a little better than some of the others, only because it's a thicker water base. All inks will work though. You just have some better coverage than others, some more actually feather more than others and don't have as clear of a press, but they all work. So you just have to practice and play with what you have. If the image is not crisp enough for you, then try different inks. That's my recommendation. The best impression is always going to come from the Spellbinders BetterPress ink, but that doesn't say you'd have to use it, as you see here. But you know, I can't get these vintage colors in BetterPress, so that's why I'm playing with what I have. Okay, so let's run this through the BetterPress and we will see what we get. I'm running it off the side here through my Platinum 6, my Lilac Shimmer. Ooh, we got a deep impression, really nice. Look at there. Okay, so now let's just wash this off just a little bit. And as my regular watchers know, I am a LDRS Creative Extreme Clean girl. The reason for this is because it gets these plates so darn clean, and I love that. It also isn't as oily as the archival ink cleaner that is actually recommended for the BetterPress. So that is my reasoning behind it. I also have a 15% discount code for any time you guys are shopping over there. So anytime you shop at LDRScreative.com, feel free to use Melanie15 when you're checking out, because it gets it super clean. Okay, so let's move it up to the next line. And this time it'll match both pink lines. Let's not move our registration. Oh, I think I'm just gonna love this plate because that first impression is gorgeous. I just love feminine work, you know, feminine cards, and vintage is right up my alley too. I used the vintage floral collection recently that was released in January, and I'm in love with it. I'm probably going to mix it with some of this month's clubs as well. So you may be seeing some of those florals because I'm obsessed with that collection. It was just right up my alley. That's the reason I did the borders video. If you didn't get to see that video, make sure you check it out. I'll see if I can link it at the end of this video, or yeah, at the end of this video, so you can see that. But if you like vintage videos or vintage cards, I'm sorry, I'm like all tongues tonight. But if you like vintage style cards, you might want to check that borders video out, because that was some pretty cards, and I just think this style of plate is really nice to go with it. Now that first color was pale mauve, and this one is amethyst, and this, remember, is the sugar plum collection that I'm using here. So that looks really good to me. I'm excited. Oh, let me put this right back in place because it slid just a little bit when I was inking it. Just move it with your nails. You can see it all right back in there. I can't wait to see what this looks like. These inks in these fresh dye quads are made to go together. That's what I love about the Altenew inks, is you have 4 in the light to dark family. Each of their color collections have 4 inks from light to dark instead of 3, which a lot of companies have. So I really like that about them, because you have so much reach. Oh, look. Just that variegated, real light, going darker, going darker. So let's clean that off real quick. All right, let's lay it there. And then let's go in with the next color, which is grape agate. And you could go in with the plum, but that might be a little drastic for this. And remember, we're going vintage, so that's why I thought we would probably leave the darkest color in the family out of this one. If it had 4 plates or 4 positions, we would definitely use all 4. That is covering so nicely. And it's definitely because of the velocity of this ink. All right. Let's see how this third pass goes. Look at there. Now this is going to dry back a little bit because it is dye based, but look at there. And then you could choose to ink around the edges, or you could choose not to. The BetterPress of the month also comes with 3 sentiments. It's may your days be bright as spring flowers, thank you, and sending Easter blessings. So that is our first one. That is really pretty. Okay, this time, how about we go from dark to light? So we won't do the darkest. We'll go ahead and do the third one in the family. Now this one is frosted foliage, this family, and we'll do the darkest at the bottom and see what we think about the difference in the two. Because this one will have a little less dark, since that other one had more dark at the top. We'll start dark and go light. And then we'll do which one we like the best in the third one. To save time, I will probably go ahead and morph a little faster through these last 2, just so you're not seeing a lot of repetition. I'll probably show you the reveals mostly in this last, the last 2 inkings of these. Frosted Foliage, which is this collection, then the Northern Shore, which is this lighter blue collection. So I'll probably, speed it up a little bit and kind of morph you through so you're not watching every single bit of inking as we go. Okay, let's see how this darker layer went. All right. We got a little ink smudge right there from this right here. That'll probably be okay when we do the next layer. If not, you could take right now, you could try to take a little, like a sanding block like this right here, and kind of go like that a little bit. You could opt to do that if you wanted to try to get some of that off. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and let the other plate cover it. I think that'll just be easier since we're doing a whole panel. Okay, let's see how this layer did. Pretty, look at there. See, now you can't really even see where that little mess up was because that fell right on top of it. Oh, I think I love that. I think I love that. Oh, look at this. Look at how gorgeous that is. Oh, if you could just look at the detail here. I know you can't see it on film very well, but it's got really nice impressions right here, especially at the top of this filigree, like right here, down here. Some areas seem more pressed in than others, but I love that delicate texture that I get with my BetterPress. And some people feel like the BetterPress should be giving more impression, and it's not supposed to. It's not supposed to give a deep impression. It's supposed to give this luxurious feel. This, when you use the right paper, use, the right sandwich, and you have this BetterPress paper, and it just feels, you get that texture. It's not deep. It's not like embossed, it's not like an embossing folder. It's this luxurious stationary feel, like a wedding invitation. It's just so elegant. And that's why this plate spoke vintage to me. And it's just the better pressing makes it even more vintage. So I am loving that. No, I went off on my little high horse there. But look at the two differences from the dark. I think I like the dark at the bottom. I don't know. You tell me. I might like the dark at the top. I don't know. For the blue, the next one is blue. So do I want the dark at the top or the white at the top? Maybe I want the darker at the top for the blue one. I do like this though too. I think I like them both. Totally different kind of feel. I think it's because this section is so much wider. So it just gives a different feel to it. So do it both ways, I say. So let's do the last one. And this one is going to be in the Northern Shore collection. Let's see, we're doing the darker one on the top. I'm going to do it this way. It has a little less ink on the paper. Just going to go ahead and use this one like the other one. It should cover up. I have some ink on my desk, and that's where that ink, but rather than waste the paper, I'm just going to go for it. So let's see how this goes, how this looks. Okay, it's very, very faint on there because it's such a pale blue. All right. So now I'm not going to wash this time because that's such a pale blue. And since we're getting darker, I'm just going to see if I can just ink this away to save a little time. Thinking it's going to be okay because that ink is so light. Let's take a look. Ooh, look at there. Wow. Ah, so pretty. Okay, let's move it up once more. And let's do that again. Might have just figured out a way to make this even quicker since if you're going light to dark, you can just go light to dark. Because you're not going to contaminate your ink pads when you're going light to dark. Oh, this color looks amazing. Winter Lake. Oh, I cannot wait to see this one. I love a good deep blue. I might want to do a whole one just in this one, this color. Oh, look. Wow. Oh, I love this. And look, you can't even see our little smudges that were on there. Oh. I'm going to go ahead and marinate this real quick. That's what I call it when I don't want to clean it right away. Just going to marinate it so it doesn't stain. Set it to the side for a second to get it out of our way. And let's bring these back in next to each other. Look at how these turned out. Aren't they gorgeous? Wow. Oh, wow, wow. Okay, and the sentiments for these, let's see how the size. The sentiments for these, you could put them at the bottom, you could put them at the top. I think if it's dark at the top, I might put them at the bottom. Or, yeah, and if it's dark at the bottom, I might put it at the top like that. Okay, I am going to grab some, I think some foil card that coordinates with these colors and trim these down and put a foil layer behind them and then BetterPress the sentiments out and maybe add some gems. And that's all I'm doing with these. These are pretty just the way they are. I don't think I need to add anything else to them except a little bling, the sentiment, and maybe a border. So I will show them to you here momentarily so you can see the finished items. And I hope you have had a really fun time with me today. I hope you'll give this a try if you decide to get the kit, or if you have other backgrounds in your stash that you can use to do something similar to this. Now remember, if you have a BetterPress background that you can press that is a solid background, you can still do something like this. Just say this is your plate and it's all one piece. Start with your lightest ink pad and ink the plate here, then ink it medium, making sure you go over a little of this, and then ink it dark and make sure you go over a little of this so that they blend in between, and then press it all at once. And you'll get the same look that we got here today. And it'll still look vintage. It'll still look that pretty ombre look. And it'll be in one step instead of 3 steps like we've done here today. So use what you've got. And if you like this plate and you want to pick up the club, the BetterPress Club this month, or any of the clubs this month, my links are down below. They are affiliate links. They do help my channel, and I appreciate when you use them. I just want to see you craft, and I would love to see your projects over in my crafty group. I have a private group over on Facebook named Craft Life Together with Spellbinders and more, and I would love to see any of your projects, no matter what brand you craft with, over in my group. That's why it's called Spellbinders and more. So feel free to join that as well. And if you've enjoyed your time here, I'd love you to hit the like and subscribe button and come craft with me again soon. Bye-bye, my friends. Okay, so I had this idea where I'm going to take this darker ink and I'm going to take this sentiment, and I had the idea that I might want to try to BetterPress this on top of this background just to see how this might look. I have no idea if this is going to work, but I thought we would try it together. So I'm going to pop this over upside down and line it up inside the grid here. Without moving it, I'm going to grab my Best Ever craft tape and add 2 pieces. One right there. And one right there. Still being careful not to move that paper. I'm going to add the platen, press down, pick this up, and now my paper's in place. So then we're going to take the darkest ink. Now remember, I colored the BetterPress plates with the lightest to the 3rd color. So now I'm going to use the darkest ink and try not to move this plate when you're inking it, so it doesn't shift. I'm not always good at that, but so far, so good. I really think using the press and seal actually has more traction than I'm used to. I'm not sure if it's the texture or what, but I'm actually liking it. Okay, I'm going to take my rag and just come here. I don't want any accidents. So I'm going to remove this and pray that that does not transfer onto my card at all. I know I'm going to get my fingers in that if I do not close it. And let's see what happens. That actually looks like it's bubbling a little bit. When you have dye-based ink, it tends not to cover all the way. So I'm just going to add a little more to make it solid. Better safe than sorry. Make sure I'm going the right direction. I am. And let's put it through and see what happens. Ha 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 ha. There we go. Check it out. Now that is what I call an elegant and vintage style card.